Hendricks believes that he is faster than VA Races. He was pulling faster lap times. If he's able to get some clear sailing, he may be able to make up the time in the pits on VA Races. Here comes Hendricks out of the pits. VA Races is going to have to pit sometime during this race because in DTMRS you have to make at least one pit stop during the race. Hendricks knows that. VA Races knows that. So when VA Races makes his pit stop, he's going to be hoping that Hendricks wasn't able to make up the time. But that was an incredible last section there. Hendricks almost got around him. Looks like at the last second he decided it wasn't going to happen and decided to go into the pits. Oh, that was an incredible move. And we'll see if it pays off because here's the thing. Now that Hendricks went in early, he came out in the middle of traffic. So now he has to make sure that he doesn't get held up by this other traffic, by these guys in midfield who were themselves driving a very aggressive race trying to get every last championship point in the DTMRS. So he doesn't want to mix it up with those guys. At the same time, he has to drive an extremely fast lap to try to make it out in front of VA Races. Oh, it's going to be exciting to see if he's able to pull this off. Here's Cobra DX, currently not in the race for the lead, but he is doing a good job of staying out of the way of the leaders and those people that are fighting for position. Here comes VA Races into the pits. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Hendricks is able to make up the time. I believe Hendricks was able to pull a faster lap time because he was pulling consistently faster lap time than VA Races until he got behind him. So let's see if he gets out in front of VA Races and where VA Races comes back out. And look at these two guys. El Nino and Imei Satsuma are still in a pitched battle themselves for, I believe, that they're in the battle for 5th place. They're not willing to give that up at all. And here is Hendricks currently in, believe it or not, 2nd place behind Chris Phil, but Chris Phil goes wide. Since Hendricks came out in the middle of traffic, he came out behind Chris Phil. Chris Phil had the lead there, even though it was just an assumed lead. But Chris Phil was in the lead. He went wide, giving Hendricks back the lead. VA Races came out in 3rd place. He's currently behind. He was behind Chris Phil, and he taps Chris Phil. Oh, look at that. That's gonna hurt both of their chances. That's incredible. Chris Phil, VA Races was coming very fast out of the pits, trying to make up every second. Chris Phil, I don't know if Chris Phil saw him coming up behind him, but VA Races was coming like a bat out of hell trying to go past him. Chris Phil did not get out of the way in time, or VA Races did not move over, one or the other, but either way, Chris Phil's the one that went sliding out of the way. I don't know how much time VA Races lost or how much damage. Look, Chris Phil, I can only imagine he must be beside himself in the car. He must be absolutely livid with himself and with VA Races probably because both of those guys Chris Phil was in 2nd place at the time. And now I believe he's back to 3rd. Probably he might lose that to go down to 4th place. VA Races, he must also be livid because he was making a run for Hendricks. Hendricks had got out just ahead of him, and Chris Phil, Chris Phil was the sandwich, was the meat between the Hendricks and VA Races sandwich, if you will. And VA Races was trying to get around him, but he did it in the worst possible way. I don't know if he's going to be able to recover from that. He's going to have to try to recover from that and catch back up to Chris Phil, but catch back up to Hendricks, but Hendricks was pulling those very fast laps. Oh, this is one of the most exciting races of the season. And look at that. We have Maximilian coming out of his pit stop and making the pass on Chris Phil, retaking 3rd place. Chris Phil slowly moving backwards. He was up to 1st and 2nd. Now he's in 4th place. He's decided now's as good a time as any to make that pit stop, taking a few cones along into the pits with him. Oh, Chris Phil, Maximilian, Hendricks, VA Races, El Nino, Imei Satsuma, all these guys are doing an incredible job. Even Cobra DX, the DTMRS, this is one of the most exciting races of the season. El Nino, Imei Satsuma. Imei Satsuma is coming up behind El Nino, trying to catch up to him. And both of these guys took the pit and went to the pit stop at almost the exact same time. They came out still close together. Let's see if Imei Satsuma is going to be able to put the pressure on El Nino. I don't know if that's going to be possible because now El Nino is going to try to put the pressure on Chris Phil. Chris Phil, who's slowly moving backwards. El Nino, who's slowly moving forwards, gaining position by position, put in the screws to Chris Phil. Is he going to be able to make it around him? And right behind El Nino, he has to remember that Imei Satsuma is just waiting for him to make a mistake. All of these guys are giving it their best. The DTM RS, this is one of the most exciting races of the season. I can't get over how close these drivers are, how skilled they are, and how much they're showing each other the respect on the raceway. This is an incredible, incredible race. Hendricks is still in the lead. 2 laps to go. VA Race is in second place, coming around the final turn. It looks like he's not being able to catch up. He's holding his ground, but he has to do better than just hold his ground. He's going to have to give all 500 horsepower of that Ferrari, get all of that power to the ground and try to catch up to Hendricks. He's going to have to make some big strides because there are only 2 laps left. Oh, and Chris Phil goes wide. The damage is probably taking its toll on his car, and is El Nino going to be able to, every mistake that Chris Phil makes, El Nino's able to capitalize on it and gets a little bit closer. El Nino is not one to make a lot of mistakes, and Chris Phil, although he is fast, he has shown that he sometimes lets his emotion get ahead of him, and when he starts driving that car, if things aren't going especially well, that car will go into the dirt a lot, allowing people behind him to catch up, and that's what's happening now with El Nino. Checking out the telemetry on Hendricks' car. Look at the tire wear, only 16% after I believe he's been 4 laps on these new tires. That just shows that the setup he has in his car is working extremely well on Silverstone. He has his car set up. Oh, Chris Phil goes wide again. Is this going to be enough to let El Nino come and retake 4th place? Let's see, where's El Nino at in all this? Chris Phil came around that first corner very fast and went way wide. And I'm thinking that's going to be, here's El Nino. El Nino is putting a lot of pressure on Chris Phil, as you were able to see. I don't know if he's close enough. Oh, Chris Phil slows up a lot, and El Nino overdrives that corner. His back gets loose. Is he going to be able to save it? He's fighting it. Oh, and Imei Satsuma comes underneath El Nino, as El Nino just barely is able to keep it on track. That was a mistake that Imei Satsuma was waiting for, and Imei Satsuma is now taking over 5th place, and Chris Phil is in 4th place, and El Nino is in 6th place. Oh, this is an incredible race. Already we've seen a lot of position changes and a lot of incidents, but still these drivers are giving it their all. Maximilian currently in 3rd place. He is slowly catching up to VA Races. VA Races was driving a very fast race, but Maximilian is even putting in even faster lap times. You have to believe that if it wasn't for that incident that Maximilian had in the beginning where he just, I guess, forgot which way the track turned and went into the wall, if it wasn't for that, he may be up there right beside the VA Races, if not in front of him, because Maximilian's been driving an extremely fast race. Let's take a quick time out to remind everybody that DTM RS is sponsored by DTMmovies.com, the best place to buy the best movies. Over 35,000 DVDs and games in stock, including Blu-ray, HD DVD, Xbox, Wii, Nintendo DS. DTM Movies, buy more movies, pay less money. And here we have Chris Phil coming around. This will be his final lap, along with Imei Satsuma going wide. Oh, that might have been Imei Satsuma's last chance to catch up with Chris Phil. Here's Hendricks coming around the final set of turns. It looks like he will win. Yes, Hendricks wins the DTM RS race at Silverstone. Congratulations to Hendricks. He ran an incredible race. After that incident, he fought his way back from last, again becoming a habit for Hendricks, fighting his way back up through the pack. That incredible strategic move that he did where he dove into the pits to pass VA Races when VA Races made his pit stop. An incredible piece of race strategy there. Let's take a look at the rundown. We have Hendricks was in 1st place, VA Races 2nd, Maximilian was in third, drove an incredible race himself. Chris Phil was managed to hang on to fourth place, and Mei Satsuma fought his way to fifth place. El Nino did a very, very good job to get to sixth place, and Cobra DX rounds out the top 7. It's an incredible race. Next week, the final championship race of the DTMRS, the DTMmovies.com racing series, will be held at Nürburgring. 3 laps of the Nürburgring. It will be an incredible race.